Hello everybody and welcome back to the Unfiltered Life channel. I wanted to make a video here, but I wanted to test out an introduction. So for this video, we're going to be talking about, let's see. The title of the video is going to be called My Generation Is Fucked, right? So welcome back. Play the intro. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, my generation's fucked. So, over the past week, 2 weeks maybe, I've been talking to more and more people at work, right? Now, I work, again, a security job. Previous to this, I worked the Department of Defense as a claims person, technically as a contractor, claims contractor. Previous to that, I sold cars, and then previous to that, what did I do? I worked at Frost. So anyways, I've gotten to know a lot of people older than me. So in order to title this episode the way that I wanted to title it, I had to realize, what is my generation, right? And so if I heard properly, because I didn't specifically look it up, I just asked Siri, right? So, if I heard properly, Gen Z is from 1999 to 2012, right? So, in reality, yeah, a lot of the people that I've met are a part of my generation, because even if you're 7 years older than me, you're still a part of my generation. Now, in reality, who fucked the game up? In my opinion, and from the research that I've done, and from the people I've met and everything like that, I would definitely say that it wasn't my generation that fucked the game up. It was a generation right before my generation. The ones from the 80s. And as everyone has aged and as my generation has continued, it's shown more and more that, and we see this on social media, we see it heightened everywhere, that my generation is fucked, because the majority of my generation can't fucking do shit, right? I would definitely say that at least almost every person that I've met, a part of my generation, I definitely feel I'm more capable than. And in addition to that, I also have the results to show it. So the reason that I felt the need to talk to y'all and to make this video is because I've been talking to coworkers, and the thing is that these coworkers range from anywhere from the youngest I've seen, which is the person I talked to today, he's 21. But one of the other individuals that I am making this video kind of about, she is 28. Now, obviously, I'm not going to mention names. Do I ever expect them to see this video, though? No. So I'm not talking shit, but I'm using real life examples, right? So the thing is that specifically we'll start off with the woman, because she is 26, 27, but she's like right at the end right at the beginning, or right before the beginning of my generation, which in reality I would say makes her my generation. That's like being born the last few months or the last year of your generation. You, on paper, you may be that generation, but you grew up being the next generation. So anyways, so she asked me a question, and it got me really thinking. And so she said, hey, I'm new to San Antonio. I haven't been here too long. I had a question. I said, yeah, what's up? And she said, do you know where any food banks are? Now, in my mind, I was like, food bank? Okay, does she want to like donate some shit, or okay? And then I thought about it right before I answered, and I was like, ooh, she may want to get food from the food bank. Okay, let me go in with a neutral thing, because I don't want to, just judge her straight off the bat or make her feel judged. So I told her, I was like, yeah, they actually have one. It's right by Bill Miller's HQ. It's on this highway. Here, let me show you on the fucking whatever. Okay, cool. So I show her on the map. Boom. She's like, okay, so when I go in, what do I do? And I was like, well, are you going in to get food? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. That's where I don't actually know. I've never had to do something like that. I feel like overall, they shouldn't really like be there to judge. It's not like they've never done it. So you can go in with no experience and just ask for help, and I'm sure that they're going to help you. She was like, okay, well, do I need anything? Like, do I need a license or anything? And I was like, I wouldn't imagine, but if you do, I mean, do you have one? Or is it expired? And she's like, no, I have one. It's just, it's not from here. Again, I'm new here. I said, okay. And so then I asked her, because she's been working with us for a little over a month. So I asked her, I was like, yeah, how are you liking it here so far? Is the pay at least helping? And she's like, yeah, it's just hard working 12-hour days. I'm like, yeah, I understand. So as we go on, I ask her, I say, who'd you move here with? And I go, it's just me. I'm sorry, she goes, it's just me. And I go, do you have a boyfriend or anything like that you moved in with? Or is it really like you're the only one in San Antonio? And she's like, no, it's just me. And so I was like, okay, well, do you have any kids? She's like, no, it's just me. So, okay, cool. So the reason I was asking all those questions was because I was solidifying a thought in my mind, but before I had all the facts, I wanted to make sure I had all the facts before I started judging. So the reason I started judging is because we are at a job where there's hella overtime. She works for the same company I do. And even if she didn't, the other company gets paid $18 an hour, but there's hella overtime. There's the same amount of overtime as we have. So whether you're making $18 an hour, but you're working 40 hours of overtime, or whether you're making $20 an hour and you're doing 40 hours of overtime, the pay, it's not going to be too different, right? For every 40 hours, it's $80 difference, right? So then with overtime, it's going to be a little bit more, but it's not going to be a fucking $1,000. It's not going to be anything substantial. So overall, from everything that I learned in that conversation, she said that her rent is killing her, and her rent is about $1,100, right? All included. I said, okay. She has her car, and it's just her. So she wants to be able to, if she starts making friends, or if she has friends, she wants to be able to have food, not only to feed her, but feed her guests if they want it. But overall, as long as she knows that she can get food, then she may start trying to get more food or stack up on food before people come over. That way they have something to eat. And especially if she doesn't have to pay for it. So I get the concept, but the thing is in my mind, I actually never fucking thought about that. I'm gonna be honest. I never thought about that. When I was having to ask, people to buy me food, when I had to ask my mom and grandma to buy me food, I never thought about, oh, well, we have food banks. Because I just never fucking, it's not that I never knew, it's just that resource was just in my mind, it didn't fucking exist. So anyways, the reason I want to judge her is because of this. So it's just you, right? Like how originally it was just me. Okay. She's 26, 27? Okay. So, which means she's old enough, right? She's old enough to make her own decisions. And yeah, she may be home alone. It may just be her. But the difference is that I've been on my own since I was 18. And I'm not saying that come 27, 26, that there's no way in hell that I'm going to struggle. I'm not saying that. I hope that that's not my reality, but I think that with my work ethic, that regardless of where I am or what I'm doing, I'm not going to struggle as badly as some people. So the reason why I want to pass judgment is not because she doesn't have money or not because of whatever, that she's new in town and that she's asking for a handout, which I can view it like that. But the reason I want to pass judgment is because I said about the she was talking about the pain. She was like, yeah, I mean, $20 isn't bad at all, but it's just killing me, and I'm not, and after taxes and everything. Now the thing is that, okay, you're gonna complain to me about this, that you're struggling and you need food, but yet you're also telling me that there's no way in fucking hell that you would work 5 days a week or 6 days a week on a 12-hour shift. So that means that you're consistently going to be behind the 8 ball. I mean, you're consistently not going to be making... If you're working, 3-4 days, sure, that's 36, 48 hours on a 12-hour shift. Okay, fine. But overall, if at 36 hours a week, $20 an hour, that is $720 a month. A week, times 4, you're looking at $28.80. Okay, $28.80. Then subtract taxes from that. You're looking at probably 23, high 23s. So at that point, you're not going to be able to get ahead. You may be able to maintain, may be able to float, but you're not going to be able to get ahead. Let alone if you're getting insurances, or you're taking money out of your check to put it into a 401k, anything like that. If that's what you're doing with that income, you're not going to be able to get ahead, and you're not going to be able to. You may be able to pay your bills. You're not going to be able to enjoy anything. But overall, that's your fault, because you don't want to work more. You don't want to apply yourself more. So at that point, why am I going to feel sorry for you based on the economic standpoint that you're in, if you don't want to, if you have the ability and you just don't want to do it? So I've taken I took a break from filming because I got a phone call. So I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. But overall, I had that. Then I also had an encounter with an individual like this. So he was talking to me about his finances. He was saying he got fucked because he financed a car that is $900,000 a month, and then he redacted that later and told me, yeah, it's like 7 something. But regardless, let's just say it's $900 a month, because that's a little bit more of an extreme circumstance. Okay, cool. So then I'm asking him all these things, and I'm like, well, what type of car is it? It's a 23 Camry. Okay, so it's not new. When did you buy it? Bought it a year ago. Okay. He's like, yeah, I had 5 owners. It had all this shit. And I'm like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. So overall, by asking the questions that I asked, especially from me selling cars, I knew the questions to ask. So I asked him about how many miles did it have when he got it? He said 29,000. I'm like, okay, so either there was problems with the car, or it was a track car. Was it a track car? And he was like, what's that? I was like, basically it was a rental vehicle. He was like, yeah, it was. It was multiple rental companies that were purchasing it, and then I bought it at CarMax. And I'm like, okay, CarMax, that fucked you. I'm not saying it's a terrible place to buy a car from, but it has to make money somehow. And by CarMax being the #1 leader in overpaying for cars when you sell to them, they got to make some money somehow. So they're going to sell them for more than what they got them for, more than they're worth. So overall, that means you're going to be paying a lot more than you would have for a car, let alone what it costs. So I said, well, why'd you go there? He said, well, he didn't have a car. He had a car, then it broke down, and then his mom didn't want to take him anywhere except CarMax to be able to get a car. I asked him what his APR was. He said it was 20-something. I think he said 21 or 24. I don't remember. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, he got fucked. Right? So, overall, he was asking my advice. But the thing is I start giving him advice, and then he's just like, yeah, I think I may just hold on to it. Or I think I may just refinance it. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I'm not, if you don't want to take certain advice, especially from someone that's done it, then that's your fault. That's up to you. You don't have to take my advice. You could just listen to my advice and go, that doesn't sound like great advice. Or you could ask more questions and be like, okay, but why should I do that? Now, my advice to him was, if he trades it in, which I would recommend he does, trade it in for something that can hold that much negative equity, which is going to be a truck. If he doesn't want to trade it in, refinance it, or try to pick up a second job. That way, he's not sinking in any way. He doesn't have kids, and it's just him. So when I understand, I'm a little more sympathetic to individuals that have kids, that have people that depend on them, that it's not that are not capable, right? Because it is a financial burden. You're having to take care of someone. But me being who I am, I've been alone this whole time, but I've had to take care of other people. I take care of my girlfriend. I try to take care of my mom. I take care of my other family members. And which leads to me loaning a lot of money out. But the thing is that I know that I am able to loan that money out and not really miss it because I make enough money. And that I support myself. I support my girlfriend. I support other people. So if you are struggling with, you're 6, 7, 4, 5, whatever, how many years older than me, but yet I'm able to do this, and you can't, but you want to complain about that shit is tough. I understand if you're complaining about fucking gas prices, but at the same time, okay, we can't do shit about that. It is what it is. Move on. So, but overall, if you're complaining about you not being able to afford rent or you not being able to do certain things, okay, fine. What are you going to do about it? Because you can't just be a ball and quit. Just fucking wrap yourself in a ball, lay in the corner of a fucking road or a fucking building and just fucking cry yourself to sleep every day. You got to do something. You got to fight somehow. So what are you going to do about it? Because if you have kids, I can understand certain obligations. You know, you don't have anyone to take care of them. You're a single parent, sure. But if it's just you and you and you, and you don't got to take care of your mom, you don't got to take care of anybody, and it's just you should be able to figure it the fuck out. Now, I got a little bit lucky because I was able to make good money in sales. Maybe not all the time, but at least enough to be able to catch up from being behind. But okay, take sales out. I still work security right now. I still work an hourly job and make $8,000 a month. So overall, it's like, what the fuck? I still worked for the Department of Defense. I was still making $4 or $5,000 a month. So what's your fucking excuse? I'm not even 20 yet. I'm almost 20, but I'm not 20 yet. So if anyone can do it, someone who's 26, you would think is more capable than an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old. And you would think. But the difference is that I've been put in situations where I had to do shit. Versus these people, they're being tested with situations where they can still float, but they just struggle a little bit. But they're accepting that that is their reality. And even when I tell them that that doesn't need to be their reality, they're just like, yeah, but it is what it is. I get by. It's like, okay, well then why the fuck are you complaining to me? Because I'm not trying to give you advice just to have the fucking time pass. If I was, I could fucking figure out a different way to make the time pass. I could just be on my fucking phone. But I'm trying to help. And I'm trying to bring on your challenges as if they were my own. That way I can give you the best advice. And I've been someone that I have struggled. I have not had money. I've had my credit cards maxed out. I've been there where during all of that, I then got fired from my job and I had to just figure it out. So if I was someone that I had been rich my whole life and you didn't want to listen to my advice, I can understand. Because it's not real world advice. It's advice from, if I were you, I'd just ask my parent for money, shit like that. But I didn't have that. I didn't do that. And if I did it temporarily. So, ultimately, it's up to you to be able to fix your own shit. But at the same time, if you care enough to ask other people, well then you gotta be willing to either listen to advice or take fucking advice. Because obviously, if you had your own shit together, you wouldn't fucking be asking. If, just like me, I'm not fucking asking you how to do shit because I got my shit together. And even at that, if I semi had my shit together, I'd still be making more than you. So why the fuck would I ask you? Same shit. A billionaire doesn't ask a millionaire how to make money. A billionaire asks other billionaires how to make money. Because you understand how to make money. This person who's a millionaire doesn't entirely know as much as a billionaire. So if they don't know as much, you're not going to lean on them to teach you. That doesn't necessarily mean that their opinion is null and void and that they have no way into a certain type of market or that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But they may not be the first person you go to. You may go to them, they just may not be the first person. So overall, what is upsetting to me about so many things is that I understand about being here, understanding that you only have one life and you want to enjoy it. But my personal belief is that in order to enjoy it, you have to sacrifice certain things to have a life worth enjoying. If you're going to be like everyone else, not do shit, and then in addition to not doing shit, you're going to complain and you're not going to work hard, well then why would God bless you if you don't care enough to even try? And then you want to complain that you don't have money. He's giving you the opportunity to be able to change those circumstances. And if you don't want to, fine. But then don't fucking complain. Now, if you're trying your fucking hardest and you're consistently asking work, hey, do you have any overtime? Do you have any more hours? You're trying to pick up other jobs and you can't find another job. And you've applied to all these jobs. You've gone in person. You've applied to over 100 jobs, 200 jobs. You've just tried everything you possibly could, and you can't find another job. I get it. Because I've done the same shit. Now, I could find other jobs, but I've done the same shit where I've applied to 120 jobs in 3 days, or in 2 days of working. While working, I'm always on my phone, applying while I'm selling cars. I'm applying to other fucking jobs. I've done that. And if I wanted to go ahead and say, well, fuck, I've been trying. It's been a month now. I haven't gotten any jobs that have gotten back to me. Sure. Okay. I understand. Because you've been consistently trying. You're trying to pick up more hours. Maybe you're in a sales job and you don't have an hourly. And you're just trying whatever you fucking can. You're asking family. You're doing whatever you can. Okay. But you have a job. You have a job that pays hourly. You have a job that pays good hourly. And in addition to that, you have a job that is willing to give you however many hours you really want. You can't work 24 hours in a row, but you can work every day, 12 hours straight, every day, which is 84 hours. That's allowing you, and it pays $30 an hour with overtime. So at 84 hours, it's 44 hours of overtime at $30, which is $1,320, if I'm not mistaken, of overtime pay. So that's your rent in overtime per week, which is $4,000 in overtime a month. Sounds great. So overall, my thing is I don't have sympathy for the people that don't try. If you have unfortunate circumstances, okay, but I'm only going to say okay until you're able to make your own choices. Past 18, let's just say past 21. Past 21, bro, if you're at home, okay. But if you're going to complain about shit being expensive and whatever, and you can't find a great job, bro, you're just not trying hard enough. And I'm not saying like that if you can't find a good job and you're 21 that you're not trying. But what I am saying is if you can find a decent job, but you're working 40 hours a week like everyone else, then you're not trying hard enough. I have been someone that consistently from the time I got into sales, from the beginning of 2025, I have consistently worked every week at least 70 hours a week. At least 70 hours a week. But you have people that would not fucking dream of doing that. But since 2025, which it's been a year and a half, I've consistently worked at least 70 hours a week. I may have a day off, but I'm still working at least 70 hours a week. And even if I'm overestimating at 70, okay, 60, you still have people that won't do that. So, ultimately, how your life is entirely up to you. Now, the main thing is that you can't fucking complain because, one, complaining isn't going to do shit. You complaining about your circumstances, it's not going to do shit. The difference is that if you complain about your circumstances, you best be trying everything in your fucking power to change them circumstances. Do it for some time. And then if you want to complain that after you've applied 150 jobs, 200 jobs, and over 2 months, no one's called you back, or all these places are telling you no. You've gone in person to try to apply to places, and you just can't find a decent fucking job. All the jobs that want you are $14, $15, $16 an hour jobs with no overtime. Okay, I understand this job market can be hard, and which is why in a previous episode I said I understand I got lucky with finding a $20 an hour job that also allows me to work as much as I want. I understand, because with my work ethic, that's why I'm making $8,000 a month from my $20 an hour job. You got to work hella overtime to do that. So it is what it is. But at the same time, if you're not willing to do that and you don't have obligations, well, then you don't deserve the outcome. You don't deserve the reward. I'm sorry, you don't deserve the reward, you deserve the outcome, which is you being like everyone else. Maybe not having as much money, maybe at times struggling to pay your bills because you're not willing to try more. But even if I'm working say a corporate job, I went back to Frost and I'm working 40 hours a week, I'm still going to pick up another job. I don't care if I got to work a fucking movie theater, because for me, money is the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter what job it is. In my mind, my whole life, it mattered what job it was. But the reason that I ended up changing that philosophy after a while was because I said this: if I was going to work a janitor job and it was going to pay me $1 million a year, or I was going to be a CEO and I was going to earn $500,000 a year, I'm picking that fucking janitor all day, every day, because I'm not willing to leave that money on the table. And I don't care what job it is, as long as I'm getting paid to do it and getting paid the most to do it, I'm gonna fucking do it. So you have to be willing to not only sacrifice your own happiness for the time being in order to win, but you have to be willing, if you're going to be different, or if you want to be different, you have to be willing to sacrifice your sanity. You have to be willing to sacrifice you and that smile on your fucking face, because the people that change history they weren't that fucking, or that are in the history books, they weren't the fucking happiest people on this fucking planet. They had their own trials and tribulations. They had to go through shit. They had to fight things, overcome different things, overcome different obstacles. They had to fight and fight and fight. So if you think that you're going to be someone that makes a difference by doing your regular standard 40-hour work week, and you're going to thrive in this economy with that, then you deserve to fucking fail. But then if you get that wake-up call about realizing, hey, I'm kind of struggling over here with paying all my bills, and then you still just accept that, well then, again, you deserve to struggle. You deserve to not have those opportunities. But if you're constantly searching for opportunity, you're going to find opportunity. Which is why, for me, this is my... Fuck, let me park somewhere else. This is my third $20 an hour job. Kind of my fourth. If you look at my sales career, I was making over 20 an hour. But for hourly basis, yeah, this is my third $20 an hour job. Well, third or more. I'm sorry, third $20 or more an hour job. So it's entirely up to you. You are the only one that can write your own path. And in my mind, I can't live like everyone else. If I live like everyone else, then my suffering doesn't matter. My suffering didn't mean anything. And I can't have been through hell and it not mean anything at the end of the day. So I have to outpace everybody. I have to outwork everybody if I'm going to be different. So I think that's this episode. And hopefully y'all like the intro. I'll see you on the next one. If y'all don't like the intro, comment that you do like the fucking intro. I don't know. I'll see y'all next time.